Hey, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. If this is your first time or you've been on the channel for a hot second and watched more videos, welcome. So today we are going to be talking about boobs, plastic surgery. You're like, wait, I clicked on this. It didn't say boobs. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about plastic surgery after weight loss. I lost 161 pounds in 13 months. I went from a size 22 down to a size 2. And, you know, one of my biggest fears with losing weight was excess skin. However, I will tell you, I can remember, I've always known, always, from the time I was in high school that I was going to have a boob job. Like, I can remember being at one of my girlfriend's houses and I saw her mom changing. And at the time, I'm in high school, my nipples pointed in the right direction. All right. They pointed out like they're supposed to. And I saw her mom changing and her nipple pointed to the ground. And I was like, what is going on? And so I remember asking her daughter, I'm like, why do your mom's boobs look like that? Because I had never seen nipples that pointed to the ground. I had never seen very many boobs in general, obviously. But yeah, and so through talking to some girlfriends, I realized that, and I was always blessed with bigger boobs. In high school, I had double D, ended up going all the way up to a triple D, even into an E when I was morbidly obese. When I was pregnant, that was like a J. That was ridiculous because, you know, they fill up with milk. But anyway, I had watched enough women throughout time having like issues with their boobs. And if you're a mom and you're breastfeeding, and just gravity over time takes its tolls on the girls. And so I can remember talking to a guy I was talking to who I'm now married to. He's now my husband. And I can remember talking to him. We weren't even like really dating yet. And I was like, yeah, someday I'm going to have a boob job. He was like, let me just get that out there. So if you're anti boob job, I'm not your girl. And he was like, okay. Luckily he was a boob guy. So that was awesome. And so this is going to be the starting of our series. We're going to have either a 4 or a 5 part, depending on, you know, I really want to give you guys the nitty gritty. I want to give you the skinny on plastic surgery. So I had 3 procedures done, and broke up into 2 surgeries. So after I lost weight, and on the next video, we're going to be, there's going to obviously be other videos to follow, which we're going to be doing a progression. Today, I really want to focus on the costs because I get a lot of questions about plastic surgery. What did I have done? Have I had it? Did I get liposuction? What did it cost? What is this? What is that? What was the healing like? And so we're going to be answering all of your questions. How did I determine the size that I wanted? How did I determine what procedures I wanted? And so we are going to be getting into that. But today I want to talk about the procedures I had and the cost of it, because that's probably the biggest question. Is I don't think very many people know the cost or how much it does cost. It is an investment. It is certainly not cheap. And you know, when you're going for plastic surgery, that's not the time to be shopping around for the cheapest doctor. Like, they're going to be cutting on your body, and there's enough botched jobs for plastic surgery that they have created a whole TV show, the TV show called Botched, where they're highlighting people who have had plastic surgery and it's been botched. So you and I, if we're going to go down that road of having plastic surgery, then, you know, you don't want to wind up botched. And so, yeah, so you're not always, you want a good deal, but you're not, like, I wasn't necessarily looking for the cheapest guy on the block. I was looking for somebody who, you know, had a good deal, but that had some good results. And so the 3 procedures that I had done, and I was in that, coming from the girl who had big boobs, even before I was morbidly obese, I always had a bigger chest. Like, I had this thing against implants. Like, I'm like, I want a boob lift, but I don't want an implant. Like, somehow, if I had them lifted back up, but they were my boobs, that was better. I don't know what my problem was, right? And so like, I guess it was fear of being judged probably was at the root of it. I had heard people talk about women who had fake boobs and all of this, and they had judged them. And to be honest with you, it probably came from jealousy in the women who judged them or whatever it is. But I kept telling my husband, my boyfriend who became my husband, I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting a boob job. I'm just getting them lifted. Like, I don't need any silicone. I've got enough stuff. I just want them put back up where they go. Well, when I started actually doing the research on boob jobs, it was like, okay, like I realized when they do a boob lift, which is where they take your saggy, in my case, I had breastfed 2 kids at the time. And that didn't really, you know, and that combined, just breastfeeding in itself changes your boobs. Period, end of story. Like I had lost all the volume up here in the top, like, you know, the volume in the top of your boob. I had lost all of that. And even though I still had a double D boob, it was like a deflated double D boob. If you have ever breastfed kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so anyway, stay focused, stay focused, stay focused. You ever talking and all of a sudden it's like squirrel, rabbit, and you're like, stay focused. So anyway, but I did not realize that when they did a boob lift, they actually remove your nipple. So they cut around the nipple and they cut around the nipple and then they make a scar down your boob. And so it almost looks like an anchor scar. And so there's they cut around your nipple and then there's a scar that goes from the bottom of your nipple down to your boob. And then they basically, they lift that up and they reposition your nipple, they reposition your boob so they are lifted and the nipple is facing out and they're not so droopy. But with that being said, they have to remove a lot of your breast tissue in the process of doing a lift. And so if you want a lift and a reduction, that works out fantastic. But if you want your breasts, your boobs, to be the same exact size they were before the lift, then you have to get an implant in there to fill them back up. And if you want this, like I'm a big fan, like, you know, just if I'm talking about, you know, I'm clearly married into men, but if I'm talking about boobs that I like it where they're filled up right here, where this is like, you know, you have some cleavage, you got some fill without the Wonder Bra on. And so that wasn't going to happen with just a lift. And so after doing that, I went into the consult and I wanted to stay in the same size range. I wanted to stay between a double D and a triple D. So I was going to need a boob lift where they cut my nipple. And it's really funny. They have like these little cookie cutters. It's the weirdest, craziest thing. And you get to like pick your size. Because a lot of times when people are overweight, their areola gets stretched out. And so it can become bigger or faded because the boob stretches. And so they remove your nipple. And if you do have a larger areola, you can get it like, you know, they like cookie cutter it. And you get to pick the size that you want. It's just the most bizarre thing ever. I'll talk about that in one of the pre-op videos. Anyway, my husband's reaction was hilarious. Hilarious. Oh my goodness, I haven't thought about that in a second. So I had the breast lift. I had an implant. Now, when you're doing implants, you get your choice between silicone and saline. And on the breast, and I am going to give you guys the nitty gritty on the prices because I have my entire pricing here. So you can see exactly if this is something you would want, what is it going to cost you? So you can either say, no, it's not worth it, or I need to start saving. And so instead of saline, we went ahead and went with the silicone, which is a gel. And with the gel, there's less, like one of the things we had heard is people that go with saline, if you're jumping and I work out 6 days a week, it can kind of sound like a waterbed in your chest. Well, I'm a mom. Like, I didn't want to be running on the playground with my kids and have them be like, Mom, is that water? And I don't know if that would have happened, but just the thought of that, I was like, no, we're not doing that. Also, they said that silicone feels more real. And when you're feeling the implant, silicone feels more, you know, if you feel your boob and then you feel the silicone feels more like a boob than saline does. It also ripples less. There's all these things that if you've been looking at boobs or boob jobs or doing research, you're like, yeah. But if you haven't and you're watching this video because you just always have thought like I did, I want a boob job someday, you're like, wait, what? Ripples? Like squishes? I know all these weird things. And so like sometimes when you're in a bathing suit, it can ripple. Imagine like a waterbed, you know, if you've ever seen the bladder, the mattress part of a waterbed, it can kind of ripple. And so if you have saline, it can do that as well. At the end of the day, there's nothing perfect, right? And then also in the silicone, if you ever do get a leak inside of, if you ever get a tear or a leak inside of your implant, less would get out, even though saline absorbs. Anyway, they have this whole technology where even if the implant itself were to rupture, the silicone doesn't get out into your body. So that's awesome. So I had that done, and so it's called the Mastopexy, the augmentation with the implant, the Mastopexy, that's the lift. The augmentation with implant, so that's a boob job with implant. And of course I went ahead and did get the silicone implant. Silicone implants are more expensive than saline implants. But you know, my thing was, if I'm going to do this, again, I'm going to get what I want and be happy versus wishing I would have got something different and being unhappy. Does that make sense? It was like $1,000, just like $1,400 difference to get and I think it was about $1,000 difference to get the other implant. So, and then I also got a tummy tuck. So those were the three things. That I got. I got a tummy tuck, a implant, and a lift in one surgery. All right. And the other area, when I went in for my consult with the surgeon, I can remember going in for the consult, and I had looked in the next video, we're going to talk about how to pick a plastic surgeon and all of that, how I narrowed it down, how I picked. The other area that I was considering was a thigh lift. A thigh lift is, they can do it a couple different ways. They can either cut your bikini line, like right there where your thighs meet your vagina area, or they cut down your inside of your thigh down to your knee. And through losing weight, I had some excess skin there, and I kind of wanted to get that. It made me super self-conscious in a bathing suit. I was in my mid-30s, and it was like, you know, like I have a very long time to be in a bathing suit. It's not like I was 70 and getting this done and like, oh, I'm not going to be wearing a bathing suit much. Like I have lots of life left to enjoy whatever it is that I had done. So when we went in, here's the thing too, like I was thinking, let's get it all done in one, like whatever I want done, let's get it all done. Let's knock it out. Because when you get plastic surgery done, anything you add on to the first surgery, they're going to charge you for the most expensive one. Anything you get in addition, you get typically with most plastic surgeon offices, you get a 50% discount on the plastic surgeon's cost to do the operation. You're not having to pay for the OR, the operating room again. You're not having to pay for the anesthesiologist again because you're already under. But one of the things that they had told me is we can't do all four of those. We can't do a thigh lift. We can't do a breast augmentation. We can't do a lift and implants all in one surgery because they only like you to be under for so long. So they said it would have to be 2 surgeries. You'd have to come in for one, which they said, what's your priority? And I was like, oh, the priority is a tummy tuck and the boobs. That is the priority. And a lot of times they call that a mommy makeover. And so this was the cost, and they have it broke down here. The entire cost for all of that was $13,780.50. All right. And I want to break it down for you just so people know exactly what that is costing. So when you get the tummy tuck, it removes any of your excess skin. It includes any liposuction that you might need. Now, I went in there and I had lost 161 pounds. Like I had maintained that. And I went in and I'm like, it comes with liposuction. So I'm like, all right, doc, liposuction, what are you going to suck out? And he's like, all right. I'm like, cause it comes with it. Like I want the best bang for my buck. If I'm paying for liposuction, give me some liposuction. And he was like, Carmen, like you really don't have any areas to lipo. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I got fat here, I got fat here. And he's like, no, you can't just have a little bit of fat. He's like, you gotta have a significant amount of fat in an area for us to do some liposuction. He's like, but if I get in there and I see any areas, we'll lipo it out. I'm like, all right. I don't know why I hung on to that, but I was like, you know, if I'm paying for it, if it's included, give it to me. I want the full meal deal. Anyway, so it comes with any of that. The abdomen umbilical punculatometry. Basically, they create a belly button because they pull your skin down. And I had a mole that was right underneath my boobs. And by the time they were done with the tummy tuck, like it ended up down by my belly button. And so I have a belly button, but you don't keep your belly button. They pull it down, they cut it off, they cut that whole skin off, and then they create a new belly button for you. Isn't that crazy? So anybody who's ever had a tummy tuck has a fake belly button, which is kind of crazy. So they do that. And that by itself was $4,520. So that was the most expensive out of all of it. The breast lift, the lifter back upper, was $3,700. But because I was already getting the tummy tuck, these are all just the surgeon's cost. What I'm paying the surgeon to go in and play Picasso on my body. So that was $3,700. I got a 50% discount. So that brought that down to $1,850. And then the augmentation with the implant, which is the boob job, was $2,605. Again, I got 50% off that because it was multiple procedures. And so that was $1,302.50. The other fees that you have on there are anesthesia because they have to put you completely under. So you meet with an anesthesiologist. That was $2,025. The gel breast implants was $1,390. A pain pump. We're going to talk about the pain pump. The pain pump, it's actually a pump that you leave the doctor's office with and you can pump it for pain. It's got a limit. You can't OD, but it, you know, it helps you stay sane after you're all done with surgery. That was an additional $300. Garments. Again, we're going to talk about this in one of the next videos, but there's some garments that you wear after surgery that was included. That was for $100. And then the bra was, there's a special bra that you wear that was $35. And so all together, it came to $13,780.50 for that surgery. It was around I think about a 6-hour surgery, 5 to 6 hour surgery. And then the other one I want to go over with you really quickly, just because we're already talking about these, is I have all these little thingies on my lap. So hold on. All right. So that was the first one. And then the thigh lift. Now the thigh lift, they actually go in again and they're removing any excess skin you have on your thighs. And if I'm being honest with you, I had some lipstick on my teeth. If I'm being honest, if I had it to do all over again, I probably wouldn't have done the thigh lift. I did it. It is what it is. I was hoping for an incision here and a tiny one here. What I ended up with was an incision going all the way down to my knee on both sides. Again, it's not super visible. Most people never notice it. But it's still, it's a whole scar going down the freaking inside of my leg that I do not like. And so I probably, if I could do things all over again, I probably wouldn't have done that one. I probably would have, and I'll talk about why in another video, but anyway, that one was $7,317. So $7,317. So for both surgeries, for a total of 4 procedures, the thigh lift, the breast implant, the breast lift, and the tummy tuck, you are looking at right around $21,000 for everything. And so anyway, those were the costs. So in some of the coming up videos, we're going to be talking about, in the next video, we're going to be talking about the day of surgery. What did that look like? We're going to also be talking about plastic surgery after weight loss. Some of the things I did to maximize my results after plastic surgery, after weight loss. And then we're going to be talking about the recovery. And then just things that surprised me about plastic surgery. This isn't something that a lot of people talk about or that are forthcoming about. And this is something that I had done, let me see, back in 2016. And so, you know, we're going on 4 years ago that I had this done. And so yeah, it's been a while, so I can tell you the ins, the outs, the goods, the bads, the do's, the don'ts. And so anyway, make sure to keep watching. Check out the playlist we have on plastic surgery, and we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty. We're gonna be talking about all of it. So also make sure to hit the thumbs up button. I totally haven't told you that. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of the future videos that are coming out on the boobs, the tummy, whatever it is you want to know about. So we'll see you on the next one.